Hey, what's up? Welcome to Howard Bugs TV. I'm Howard Bugs, and I hope you are doing well today. If not, I pray that you will be made better for having come to Howard Bugs TV on YouTube. This is a Bible lesson segment, and today's lesson centers around the question, do I really have to go to church? Many people believe that a relationship with God is only a personal relationship that does not involve others. They believe that their relationship with God is only an individual relationship. Does God teach this in His Word, the Bible? Let's have a look. Now, in today's society, the word church means a building in which one goes to worship with other people. The Bible teaches a different meaning of the word church, though. The word church, according to the Bible, means a group of people or the called out ones, called out by Jesus Christ. So, today, the word church has two different meanings. The word church has two different meanings these days. In society, church means a building in which we, the people, go to worship. And second, spiritually and biblically, church means a group of people that have been called out by Jesus Christ. It's amazing how many people shoot down the idea of going to a building to worship God with other people who have also come to worship God in the same building. A bunch of people who come together to worship God. Some people refuse to take time out of their lives to go to church. They believe that they can have a relationship with God without going to church or worshiping with other people. They condescendingly call it organized religion. Some people believe that they can stay at home or spend time in nature as a replacement to going to church and worshiping with others. They believe that staying at home or spending time with nature keeps them away from the hypocrisy and money hungriness of some modern day churches. So instead of sitting through service or organized religion, they would rather try to connect. They would rather try to connect with God and their spirituality on their own terms. Some people believe all they have to do is go to Bible study in church one day a week and nothing else. They don't take advantage of opportunities to be with other Christians outside the church building. The only time they see other Christian brothers and sisters is at the church building. They don't even keep contact with their brothers and sisters outside the church building. This is what I call a checklist mentality. What does the Bible say about a Christian's obligation to the church, to the group God has called out? The Bible teaches that the church is a group of people in each respective local area. The church is a group of people in each respective local area. For example, 1 Corinthians 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 2 says, to the church of God in Corinth. The church in Corinth was a group of people in the local area of Corinth. Hence the church of God at Corinth. Today, I worship with the church at Hazelwood in the local area of Hazelwood. I have made a decision to worship with this group and to be active with this group, the church at Hazelwood. The Bible has a focus on Christians coming together to meet. Bible writers wrote about what Christians did and when they came together. One clear example is in Acts chapter 2, verses 42 to 47. Spiritually and socially, Christians spent time together on a daily basis. The coming together of the church was not mandated. They simply just did it. In Hebrews chapter 10, verses 23 through 25, Christians are encouraged to spend time with one another. This passage teaches two main reasons Christians exist. One, to stimulate one another to love and good deeds. And two, to encourage one another to stay the course. It is in the assembly of God's people where we find the motivation to live lives of love. Christian living is not inherently an easy thing to do. The typical response of society towards Christians is not love, but the opposite. Yet Christians are called to be different. We are called to swim against the stream. When we spend time with other Christians, it reminds us that there are other people out there striving to live godly lives too. Imagine never attending worship, never going around God's people, or never talking to other Christians. How this would affect your ability to be encouraged by others. Imagine how this would affect your ability to be boosted to keep living a godly life. Perhaps you think your relationship with God is strong enough to where you don't need other people to stimulate you to love and good deeds. If that is the case, I remind you of Paul's warning to the church at Corinth. He says, let him who stands take heed that he does not fall. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12 for cross-reference. Also, look at this from another perspective. If you don't come to be with others, you are hurting them by not letting them be encouraged and stimulated by you. The encouragement and stimulation goes both ways. You have an obligation to spend time with other Christians. We should be there to encourage and stimulate one another as often as we come together. You will benefit by taking part, just like everyone else who benefits by taking part. By not being there, your absence could discourage others and discourage you. Ask yourself deeply. What is more important than serving God by being there for my brothers and sisters to encourage them, to stimulate them to love and good deeds? Is there anything else that you should prioritize over being with your brothers and sisters when you come together? Being part of your brothers and sisters' lives should go beyond Sundays and Wednesdays. Acts chapter 2 teaches us that the church spent time together day by day. Also, Hebrews chapter 3 verse 13 teaches us to encourage one another day after day. Church is not simply a building. Church is not simply a building that you go to twice a week. It is a community of people who are the social structure for one another. Your best friend, your mentors, your preferred company should be Christians. If this is not the case, ask yourself 2 questions. 1, why aren't your best friends Christians? And 2, can non-Christian friends help you get to heaven more than Christian friends? It should be a no-brainer that when you become a Christian, that your social life should change to reflect that. This does not mean that you have to do away with your old friends. You can keep your old friends. Just understand that we have an obligation to be an influence on them as well. We must realize that our old friends cannot be a close influence on us. Life is short. We can't allow ourselves to be influenced to do things contrary to God's word by friends who are not concerned about our spiritual well-being. You must spend more time with people who want to help you get to heaven, and you must spend more time with people who want you to help them get to heaven. Worshiping with others is a great resource for making it to heaven, and it should be a priority in our lives. I challenge you to go to worship at a local Church of Christ in your area for 3 months and put your heart into it. Put your heart into it for 3 months. Every time they get together, whether in the building or away from the building, be there. At the end of 3 months, evaluate it and see if you don't feel better for making that change. It will create a new habit to help you deal with life and help you get to heaven. That's the end of the lesson today. Do I really have to go to church? If this lesson has helped you in any way, I encourage you and ask you kindly, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave a comment. Thank you for tuning in. This is Howard Buggs with Howard Buggs TV. Today's Bible lesson. God bless you. Thank you.